Maybe this is you. You keep jumping from business to business or new project to new project, and over the course of time, you don't make any progress. You keep saying, oh, I'll switch to this one, or I'll try that idea, and then nothing works out for you. You aren't productive because you can't commit to anything. But future you, after applying the lessons in my video, you decide to stick with one thing and just see it through, making sure you fully commit to it and go all in before writing the opportunity off, which increases your productivity significantly because you're actually focused on it. You try your hardest to stay consistent, regardless of when results are slow. I'm Mr. Locked, and I'm going to show you today how the compound effect boosts your productivity double what it was before. But first, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe if you appreciate my content. It helps me out a lot, but it also helps me know that people actually appreciate the stuff that I'm putting out. Recently, I've been starting to look at investing my money, into the stock market. And if there's anything that I've learned from watching other people, seeing people in real life, all that kind of stuff, what I found is that patience and resilience and calmness, those three are the most important things when it comes to investing. Specifically, being able to stay patient and invest calmly and act rationally while you're investing seems like the best way to go about it. If you invest too much without even thinking about it, or you pull your money out as soon as you see any kinds of downward trends, that's probably not the best way to go about it. Here's an analogy to understand my idea better. If you've ever played with snow, chances are you've rolled a snowball, like just down the hill or something. The thing is, starting a snowball is kind of difficult because when you start it, you have to pick up pieces of snow with your hands and then build it directly with your hands, right? Until the snowball is actually big enough. Once it is big enough, though, you can place it on the ground and start rolling it. And that's really easy because all you have to do is just push it a little bit and the snow will start to slowly accumulate. But the thing is, it barely takes any effort at that point. The hard part is just starting it. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say in the beginning, you couldn't get that snowball, the initial snowball that you were going to roll down the hill. You were having a hard time getting it to form, right? What would you do in that scenario? I know for me personally, there's never a scenario where I would throw the snowball on the ground and call it a day, or start with a new snowball. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It makes a lot more sense to just continue with that snowball because you still have a little bit of progress within it, and to just get more snow and just keep trying as hard as you can, and then eventually you'll get the result that you want. Similarly, this is what people do when they don't actually commit to their particular plans. They throw the snowball on the ground. They're like, okay, I've had enough of you, snowball. I'm going to try rolling another one. And it doesn't make sense to me because why would you choose to not just commit with the one that you've already started? If you already have a way to achieve a goal that you want, just stick to that. If it's hard to do, just stick to it. That's the reason that most people don't make any progress. It's because they keep switching back and forth between ideas. Like, oh, should I do this snowball or that snowball? Or maybe that snow looks better. It would be more efficient for you to just pick one, start it, and then keep just putting all the effort in until you can start to roll it down the hill. But the thing is, you don't do that. You keep switching back and forth, and you actually don't get any results. So when it comes to achieving a goal, let's say it's like some kind of business, right? You need to really have a lot of effort and skills within that particular business, right? So one of them is obviously like your marketing skills. That would be really important. The better you are at marketing, the better you are at selling things probably. But a lot of these skills needed to achieve these goals take a really long time and effort to actually improve. But the thing is, if you get really good at that skill, every other aspect of your goal will improve a lot. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would choose to switch between another business or another idea. Sometimes though, there are actually scenarios that it makes sense. Let's say you have the goal, you want to get jacked or in shape, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start calisthenics. Now that's awesome. But the thing is, when you actually try calisthenics for the first time, you realize, this is pretty hard. And you decide that you actually don't really like doing it that much. You would still like to get in shape, but you think that there are some better ways that you could go about it. And so you decide to weightlift instead. And that's a scenario where it would make more sense to just switch, try a different snowball, because you actually just hate calisthenics for whatever reason. And so you have no reason not to just switch. However, a lot of people will only give up when they don't see any results, right? That's the hard thing, is that they'll put all this effort in, and then their effort doesn't quite feel justified, so their brain doesn't perceive it as a worthy activity. But if you keep switching between different ideas, you're just definitely not going to make any progress, because, as they say, a jack of all trades is a master of none, right? If you practice like 20 different things or 20 different business ideas, and you give up like immediately without even giving it your full attention and effort, then you're not going to succeed. For me right now, I'm trying to improve my skill of video creation. This is so that you guys can understand what it's like to really commit to a goal and just say, okay, I'm going to get it done and this is going to happen. Even if the results that I'm getting on these videos are slow right now, I know that if I improve my videos each and every single time that I post one for several years, I'm pretty sure it'll blow up on YouTube. There's literally no reason that it shouldn't. But the thing is, a lot of people who are in my situation will just give up, right? They'll throw the snowball on the ground, maybe they'll try something else, or maybe they'll give up on rolling a snowball of it at all. But the thing is, that's how you don't make any progress. The initial part is the hardest part. But once you get past that initial part, you will really start to see the compounding effect of the snowball rolling down the hill. And that's just the hardest part to get to that point. I hope I've inspired you today to actually keep going with that ambition that you've always had. Remember, the start is always the hardest, and then it rolls down the hill like a snowball. Thanks for watching.